Alright, the next one, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I guess it's supposed to be pronounced Gaffsey, maybe? Dr. Gaffsey. The last one we read from them was 2009. I recall the thumbnail. It's like, the thumbnail is like a human being that's made out of fungus. Fungus memory replacement. Yeah, like, I think it's like it replaces your memory, and then you become you slowly become mushrooms. If I recall correctly, it's been a while, but that's the last one. 2009 is the last one we read from. Well, here it says Dr. Kamalov's personal file, and full name Dr. Ali Mustafa Kamalov. Here in the bot says Gafse, but let's do whatever the website says. Kamalov personal file. Dr. Kamalov has now written Economy of Scale. And here we go. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. The entrance to SCP-2214 is to remain locked at all times. Iron bars are fitted across all windows of SCP-2214 to prevent the entry of foreign objects. Foundation agents are to guard the apartments immediately adjacent, as well as above and below SCP-2214 under the guise of residents of the building. Interaction with -1 through -1288 is forbidden under any circumstances. Any personnel seeking to enter SCP-2214 for purposes of research or documentation must first receive express written permission from an on-site supervisor of Level 3 or higher security clearance. Foundation personnel may only incorporate outside objects into SCP-2214 with the permission of a supervisor of Level 4 or higher security clearance. Description: SCP-2214 is a sorry, Silver Rail is asking me something. SCP-2214 is a 40-meter squared apartment located in Redacted, Okrug, Moscow. The layout of SCP-2214 is consistent with late Soviet era standards for a single residence apartment and differ in no significant way from that of other units in the building. SCP-2214 contains 1,288 objects, -1 through -1,288. Mostly typical belongings for a late Soviet era apartment. That's a lot of belongings though for one apartment. The primary exception is 1,280. The remains of Konstantin Baranov, former resident of SCP-2214. Any object that remains in SCP-2214 for 72 hours or more will be incorporated into SCP-2214. Once incorporated, it becomes physically impossible to remove an object from SCP-2214. That explains it. -1282 through -1288, consisting of a ballpoint pen, paperclip, and 5 steel ball bearings, were all introduced during initial testing of SCP-2214 by a group personnel. I'm just gonna call them group, if that's fine by people. I know it's GRU-P or GRUP or GRUP P, but I think group would just be more fun to say. Watch people somebody in the comments like, actually, you can't say that. -1 through -1288 change orientation and relative opposition to one another in response to changes in macroeconomic conditions of the former Soviet Union. Pardon? I don't know why that pardon came out so like hefty, like so like with an oomph. And that reminded me of the Speederoo video of like the Marvel's Capcom 2 bundle where Spider-Man just tells the Cyclops Spider-Man like first touches Morgan's like sides, but it's because he's pixelated, he's like cutting him like his hands. And he's like, how about you and I swing to my place? And then he just turns to Cyclops and just goes like, later, pussy. Just really like strong. Like he's like using his entire soul saying pussy. So I don't know. I'm sorry. As you guys can see, my mind goes all over the fucking place. This includes the Russian Federation, Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Georgia, Armenia, And now we lost the rhymes. Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, the Kyrgyz Republic, and Tajikistan. All the yas and the stans. Each object is representative of a single macroeconomic factor, although the sheer number of SCP objects has made interpreting the movement of -1 through -1284 effectively impossible. However, Foundation researchers have made some progress in connecting the movement of objects with macroeconomic conditions. See Addendum 2214-W-78-091 for a partial list. Manually changing the position of -1 through -1288 affects changes in the economy of the former Soviet Union. The typical delay between the movement of an object and the economic changes that it affects is 3 days. Ooh, that's kind of messed up that you can control the economic conditions of a country just by be like, oh yeah, this paperclip, let me put this on this table. Suddenly the whole economy crashes. The addendum, okay, object number, object, and associated economic factors. So we have number 18, which is a notebook filled with clippings of recipes from Pravda. So now the effect is natural gas output of Turkmenistan. Natural gas output, like, okay. 2061 apple, comma, wax. Oh, it's like a apple made out of wax. Inflation rate in Belarus. Okay, so the apple is represented. Okay, that's what's represented. Okay, that's what it's representing. Okay, I understand. So the notebook is representing natural gas output. 588 soap bar wrapped trade balance between Ukraine and Greece. 993 fork leftmost hind bend. Out migration of laborers from Azerbaijan. You have a lot of control here. You could save a lot of countries out of like some economic crisis with this. At least, you know, the Soviet Union countries. The former Soviet Union, pardon me. 1281 cigarette butt. Wait, first remains. No, wait, what the fuck? 993 fork leftmost hind bend. 1280 remains of Konstantin Baranov economic output of Omsk Oblast, Russian Federation. Now 1281 cigarette butt believed to have been dropped by initial group in containment team. Demand for sugar in Gorno Badakhshan, Tajikistan. And then 1285 steel ball bearing price of crude oil in Estonia. Level 4 or higher security clearance necessary to view the full list. Discovery log. The anomalous nature of SCP-2214 was discovered on October 17, 1990 when the superintendent of the building housing SCP-2214 entered SCP-2214 to investigate complaints about an odor emanating from the apartment. Previously, tenants had complained about persistent noises from the apartment of Mr. Baranov, a deputy assistant subdirector of the Soviet State Planning Committee Gosplan. So he was the last, because remember, like these ones were all by the Foundation. So he was probably the last one to use it and then died. Upon entering SCP-2214, Mr. found plates flying everywhere and ghosts moving furniture. In addition, Mr. located the remains of Mr. Baranov, who appeared to have been killed when a dresser fell on top of him, crushing him. They discovered to be affected by the state-mandated price for Uzbek. Can you imagine getting killed by your furniture because the country decided to like change this? What was it? The state-mandated price for cotton. It was estimated that Mr. Baranov had been deceased roughly a week by the time of discovery. Calls from Mr. to the Moscow police were intercepted by agents of the group who arrived on the scene and successfully secured the area. Mr. was detained and dosed with a Class R amnestic in 1992. With the integration of several elements of the former group, Foundation gained custody of SCP-2214. That is, I would honestly say that's some powerful stuff. SCP-2214. Being able being able to change multiple countries' economic state with random objects in an apartment could actually, I don't think they are able to change it, right? It's because like they themselves probably will not change it. It just moves around. If I recall correctly, they themselves cannot change it at all. Let me actually double check. Yeah, it changes. Because I believe it says here moving it themselves is impossible. Well, it will become physically impossible to remove from the apartment. Each object is the sheer number of SCP objects have made the movements of. However, Foundation researchers have made some progress in connecting the movement of objects. When you change it, yeah, you can. Yeah. I'm not wrong. You can. They can change it. With an object in the apartment could make or break. Could make or break them. If the Foundation wasn't trying to keep normalcy intact, I wonder if they would play fiddle with this to fix many suffering nations. There we go. Yeah, because like you have the power. You have the power to do so, right? You have the power to be able to fix the economy of so many countries. So many countries. There's like so many that they can potentially just save if the Foundation decided to do so. But the question is, would they? Would they if they didn't need to keep a secret that the SCPs were a thing? Would they do it? And if this was the only SCP ever in the world, nothing else, just this, the power to change the economy with random objects in your room, would you do it? I think it would cause a lot of political discussion with every country that's not affected by this. And at the end, you know, human greed is always very powerful. Like you could give one country too much, and then suddenly, you know, something gets started. I'll be right back. I'll get myself some more water to drink.